Yo, what is going on, guys? Savage here. Today we're gonna be covering the 7 worst mistakes a battle royale player can do in Warzone. Now, what makes these the worst mistakes is that they're so simple to fix, we shouldn't be doing them, and we die because of this a lot. If we as Warzone players correct these mistakes, we will definitely boost our gameplay tremendously. If you guys are here to increase your aim and get better aim at Warzone, you're in the wrong video. I'll link that video in the description below. If you're here to learn strategy and get better strategy at Warzone to prolong your life on the map and or get more kills, then you're in the right place. Now, improving your aim is a very drastic part of being a better player in Warzone. We all want to drop more kills, and this is absolute necessity for sure. So do not take away from what I'm saying. But as far as this video is concerned, it's pure strategy based and simple things you can do to correct your gameplay. And I make these mistakes a lot, and I usually catch myself doing them, and I try to correct them. And as Warzone players, as battle royale players, no matter what game you're playing, you want to make sure you're fixing these mistakes. But guys, if you haven't yet followed me on Twitch, make sure you do so. The link will be in the description below. Don't forget to like the video. Let's try to get to 150 likes, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're interested in these tips or furthering your knowledge in battle royales. This is definitely the place to be. Now, the goal of this video is not to blow my channel up and get a lot of views, but don't forget to subscribe. The goal of this video is to help Warzone players improve overall. Now, the better that all Warzone players get, the more entertaining the games are, not only for us, but for the viewers and for other players as well. With skill-based matchmaking being a huge factor in Warzone, I want all players to improve to some extent. Of course, I would rather be better than everybody else, and I don't want to give out all the secrets, but at the same time, I do want all players to improve, so it's not just a map filled with rooftop campers and people sitting in corners of bathrooms waiting for an enemy to come in. I want people to be out in the streets running around. I want people to be jumping out of helicopters and jumping out of vehicles with RPGs and C4 and just doing some crazy stuff. That's what makes these games entertaining. All right, the first mistake on our list is repeating the same area. There are a lot of reasons why this is a terrible idea, mostly because if you repeat the same area after you and the opponent have healed up and reloaded and done whatever you were doing, there's a huge chance the opponent is already ADS'd on that spot. So if you go to repeat, before you can even spot where the enemy's at, he's already got you in his crosshairs, and you're probably going to get obliterated. Now, because of the map and the way it is and terrain and different buildings and stuff, of course, every scenario is going to be different. We can't cover all scenarios. It's physically impossible. There's not a video long enough to actually do that. However, there's always keeping your mind as a player. If you're challenging a target and you have to back out of the fight and reload and whatever the case may be, try your best to reposition. Now, a lot of people think what separates good players and great players from each other is their aim. And while that may be a little true, mostly it's going to be strategy. It's going to be how efficiently do they push the target as a team or in solos as a player, knowing when to back out of a fight, knowing when to stick with it, and knowing their surroundings. Knowing the map's terrain and the building layouts is crucial. And this is something I struggle with as far as building layouts. As far as the open terrain, I'm pretty familiar with that because I try to stay in the open, but I'm hardly in buildings. So if I do have to go into a building to push a team, I'm usually at a huge disadvantage because I don't know the buildings. So what separates great players from the normals is knowing the map's layout. If you know how the hill's laid out, then you already know what your plan is before you push. If you're not familiar with the map at all, you're going to be going in blind, and if you get shot from different angles, you're just going to panic and not know where to go. So when it comes to repeating targets, make sure you try your best to be aware of your surroundings so that if you do have to change position and repeat the target, the challenge, don't repeat them the exact same spot and get your head popped off. Now, this next one is massive, especially around battle royale players. It's something that I take pride in the fact that I don't do because of the amount of battle royale experience that I do have. But number 2 biggest mistake I see Warzone players make is running in the open. Now, this doesn't account for everybody. There are a lot of spots on the map that are just wide open, and it's very unfortunate the map's like that and it's laid out like that, but sometimes we can't help it. However, most of the map does have a lot of cover, whether it's trees, whether it's buildings, whether it's vehicles, whatever the case may be, tents, everything is covered. Whether you're getting shot at or just navigating through the map, always be aware of running in the open. As a battle royale player, the last thing you want to do is see an objective and just run a straight line there. Always keep your body near something, whether it's tents, whether it's a rock, whether it's a hill, whether it's a mountain, whether it's a vehicle, whatever the case may be. Always try to keep your body bouncing from cover to cover, no matter what. Because if you do get shot at, you're not in the open and you're not just like spinning in a circle trying to find what the nearest cover is. You're already aware of what cover's around you because it's what you're looking for, it's what you're focused on. So if you do get shot at, pop behind a tree real quick, play it up a little bit, and then you can challenge the target. Don't get caught out in the open with your thumb up your butt. That's just the only way to put it. There are a lot of areas in the map, for example, airfield. It is what it is, man. Sorry, there's no really advice on that one. Get a vehicle to cross the airfield, but a lot of times, man, circle position is very crucial, and sometimes it's unfair. Sometimes you got to run across the open field. When it comes around the airfield area, all strategies kind of goes out the window. Just pray to God nobody's in the tower, nobody's looking at airfield when you're running out in the open. The third most common mistake that I see, and this kind of goes with the first one a little bit, is slow peeking. I don't get why people slow peek. It confuses the shit out of me. A lot of people, especially when it comes to snipers, you'll see in kill cams if they do kill you for whatever reason, you'll see that they're already ADS behind the wall, and they'll slowly peek until it's open, and then they'll shoot. Sometimes this worked really good against shit players or people who are unexpecting to get shot in the back of the head. But if you're challenging a target in a 1v1 situation, the last thing you want to do is re-peek a target slowly. Even if you're re-peeking at a different angle, if you peek slowly, they're going to see that and they're going to snap. You want to peek as fast as possible. Now, our fourth biggest mistake is something I have a pet peeve with when I'm playing with anyone on my squad, is shooting too soon. A lot of times, players start shooting off at targets if they see them, no matter what. If they're out in the open, of course, blaze them down. Do not let them run closer to cover. But if they're already about to get into cover, for example, if they're just running out in the open, you see them, and then by the time you're ADS and shooting at them, they're already at the front door of a building, don't shoot. If you shoot, then they're just going to get hit a couple times, run inside, replay, get on the roof, and they're going to wait for you to push them, and then you're at the disadvantage now. You've now put yourself as a player in an unfortunate position. Now you have to push this target upstairs, inside of a building, whatever the case may be, and he's just going to be sitting there hard scoping you, waiting for you to come. Again, we can't get into all the different ways that you can push the target that's already run into cover, but not shooting at him and slowly pushing him using your heartbeats, that silence, whatever strategies you have, you can use that and now apply them to pushing this guy out of his hiding spot. Now, number 5 is probably just the most mind-blowing one, and every single one of us is guilty. Every player that's ever played Warzone is guilty of this in some form or fashion. Now, number 5 worst mistake players make in Warzone is leaving hard cover to thirst. This happens all the time. This happens to me. This happens to everybody. You have cover. You're in a 4v4, 3v3, 2v2, whatever the situation may be. You're in this position where you have a downed enemy player in front of you. You can't execute him because you're getting shot by his teammate. So what do? Mostly jump out and just go for the thirst and risk your own life and pray to God that your teammates are there to back you up. This will be covered in our next video where we talk about different ways to be a better teammate. So I'm not going to go too far into it, but basically don't sacrifice your life for the thirst. You're now putting your team at a disadvantage if you get killed. Always play your life. Don't ever go for the thirst. There's going to be a lot of times where you down an enemy and they just get res. It is what it is. Don't sacrifice your life for the kill. I'm a firm believer that your first objective, especially when you're playing a team-based game, is just get a squad wipe. There's no really reason to thirst if you're in a close quarter combat situation. However, if you're a sniper shooting at somebody 200-300 meters out, of course, just go ahead and thirst them. The chance of his teammate actually downing you is slim to shit. But if you're in a close quarter combat situation, do not sacrifice your life for the thirst. You just focus on the squad wipe. What you want to do if you get shot at, instead of just running frantically, is run to cover. Find your nearest tree and get behind it. When it comes to any battle royale game, cover is your best friend. A lot of people think that sitting on roofs and shooting down on them is your best option, but it's really not. Being on level ground and getting behind cover is always going to be your best, because most of your fights is going to be on level ground behind cover. What's the likeliness of you getting in a gunfight on a roof? Pretty slim. If you're on the rooftop camping, you're probably dropping some low kill games. If you're out in the open, driving around, jumping out, shooting people, you're on the ground level, you need to know how to get to cover. Always be around your surroundings. Always know where the closest cover is. So if you are in the open, you do get shot at, you do get hit, instead of panicking, freaking out, and drop shotting and whatever the fuck you're going to do, get behind a rock, regroup, reset your mind, come up with a plan, and then execute the plan. Now, even though all 6 of those mistakes are very, very important, you need to fix those things, I believe the 7th one is the most important and the most common from every player. I see it from really, really, really good players and everybody underneath. The 7th one is going to be tunnel vision. Guys, break out of this habit to where if you're shooting at somebody, you just stay focused on shooting at that guy regardless of getting shot by his teammates. Don't ever be afraid to transition from target to target, even if you don't drop that target. I see it too many times. There's a 4-man out in the open. One is more vulnerable than the other. You start shooting at that one target. He then finds cover, and instead of transitioning to another player that's out in the open or running away or whatever the case may be, you're still tunneled on that one dude, just trying to finish him off because his plates are already broken, man. His plates already broken. I gotta get the kill. No, fuck that. Guys, go for the easier target always. Just because he was the easiest target at that moment in time doesn't mean he's the easiest target now, especially if you're getting shot at. Don't be afraid to break away, reposition, get a better angle, and things like that. Tunnel vision is the biggest reason why players get killed. I see it when I kill targets. I see it from my teammates. I see it from myself from time to time. We're all guilty of it. You always want to go for the easier target. Not only will your gameplay improve if you do these tactics, but you'll also die a lot less and you'll be a better teammate. When it comes to tunnel vision, you're actually kind of a bad teammate, because now your teammates are shooting other people, and instead of you helping down the people who are shooting at them, you're now focused on a guy hiding behind a rock replating. That guy is no longer a threat right now. At this moment in time, that guy is not a threat. You need to worry about what your teammates are shooting at and who's shooting at your teammates. Change targets, change focus, and then once this guy's peaks start shooting again, then go back at him. Be a better teammate, be a better player, get more kills, stay alive longer. It's just going to solve all of your problems. Yo guys, what's going on? I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you follow us on Twitch. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you guys want some more content, man, check out one of these videos. I'm sure they're dope as fuck. Not sure what they are. YouTube, what's that one? And what is that one? I don't know. Click it and find out. But guys, follow us on Twitch. I'll see you guys in the next video, boys. Peace.